Hello and welcome to our chip burning lab. So let's start off with some safety. Because we're playing with fire, all right, any loose hair you want to have it tied back, sleeves rolled up from your wrists so we don't have anything catch on fire. We have a fire extinguisher over on the wall, so if you run into a problem, you know where it is. Also, because we're going to be dealing with fire and hot liquids, make sure you have your safety glasses on and down. Also, because you have a test tube that you're going to be heating, obviously don't look in over the top. We don't want any hot water splashing out into your face. And same thing, don't point it at your neighbor, but point it in a safe direction when you are doing this. You're also going to be sticking a thermometer in. So again, the thermometer should go part way down into the water, but don't have it resting on the bottom of the glass the whole time. If you do that, then you tend to pick up the temperature of the glass, not the temperature of the water. So, equipment that we need for this experiment. You're going to need a chip holder, so this is just bent copper wire. You're going to need your aluminum foil. That way we don't get any nasty stains on our tables and everything is nice and fireproof. You're going to need matches to start the fire. You're going to need a test tube holder. So when you are using these, I find it always best to jam a couple of fingers on the inside, and that's because when you squeeze, they open. So if you put a couple of fingers in there, you can pull outwards and make sure you have a nice tight grip. Graduated cylinder, I've pre-measured 35 milliliters of water. Thermometer, the glass ones are far easier to use than the electronic ones. And we'll also need our chip. So let's take a look at how to use the scale to measure our chip. So to use the scale, first of all, you want to make sure that it's in grams. Press your 0 to make sure that it's zeroed. Then you're going to take your watch glass, put it on top, and press that 0 button again. So now it's taken the mass of the watch glass into account, and you can place your chip on top, in this case 2.4 grams, and you can then go light your chip on fire. So once you've taken the measurement for the amount of water that you have and the mass of your chip, you can carefully place your chip in your chip holder, one of the points into the slot. There we go. And you're going to have multiple people doing this. So you're going to need one person holding on to your test tube, which you've poured your water into. You're also going to need one person to light the chip on fire. So while the person's getting ready to light the chip on fire, you can take the temperature of your water, and I'm doing this just for demo, so I don't have to worry about that, but leave it in for a minute or two, make sure that temperature has stabilized. When you light your chip on fire, you want to make sure that you light it on the top. Don't light the bottom, because then it'll fall out of the chip holder and make it a lot harder to be consistent. With it in the chip holder, it makes it a lot easier for the air to get in, it burns more evenly, and as a result, you get better results. So, again, I'm doing this out of order, but get your person holding the test tube all set when you light your chip on fire. So, light your match and hold it up to the corner and wait for your chip to light on fire. There we go. So now again, jam your fingers in and hold it a couple of centimeters above the flame. So don't put it right back down into the flame. If your test tube starts turning black, then you're probably a little bit too close. But what you're going to do is hold it here, keep it nice and warm, and get as much of that heat energy from the chip into your test tube as possible. So you want to hold it up just above the flame, not down in the flame. So see, I got a little close there, everything got blackened, so hopefully as you do this, you'll have complete combustion. The black soot on the bottom indicates incomplete combustion. It didn't fully burn. So you want to keep it just above that flame, and you're going to have to adjust as the flame moves. And again, as you're doing this, one person is going to be holding onto the test tube. You're going to have somebody else who, as you start getting near the end of your chip, you're going to want to put your thermometer in and hold it in place. So again, put it into the water and watch that temperature so you can get that maximum temperature of your water. And with the large test tubes, you shouldn't have any problems with the water boiling. Might get warm, but should not be burning temperature. And you've got to watch as you get near the end of your chip. You may find that your chip will fall down. But do your best, hold it over the hot part of the flame until the fire goes out. And again, watch that temperature. Make sure that you're getting as much of that heat into your water and look for that maximum temperature. Okay, so that's an example of how to do this. Once you're done, you want to do a couple of things. The glass may be hot, so don't grab onto it. Pour water into the tube, not onto the tube. That way it will mix, cool the water in here, and then you can safely put that down. In terms of the chip, once you've got it like this, you're going to want to zero the scale again and measure the mass of the burnt chip, so that way you know how much that chip energy was actually released. Good luck with your lab.